Hallo Leute! It's time for Lingoda's Language Marathon again. Now, anyone who's been around for a while already knows what this is about, so if that is the case for you, you haven't previously successfully participated in the marathon yet, but you want to this time, you can skip to this time code to get all the specific information for this time around. Anyone else who's new to the idea, stick around, I'll explain it. In case you don't know yet, Lingoda is a language school situated in Berlin that works through online classes. And for the 5th time now, they're organizing what they're calling a language marathon, which is high immersion classes for 3 months every day. The idea behind this is that practice makes perfect. That's true for anything, but for language all the more, because if you only have single classes once or twice a week, or if you only study with online materials or only with a textbook, etc., not that any of that doesn't help, but it's not going to get you confidently and fluently speaking in any foreseeable amount of time. So this is where the language marathon comes in. Regardless of your reason, whether you're just trying to learn a new language really fast, or whether you need it for work, or you're moving, the language marathon is 3 months of immersion classes on a daily basis, and if you pull through all the way, you get 100% refund of the costs. There's also a half marathon option if a class a day is a bit too much or too big of a commitment for you. You don't have that much time on your hands. You can also just take 15 classes a month for 3 months. As I mentioned, the biggest selling point here is immersion classes with native speakers. They're online, they're in small groups, so they're not one-on-one, but it's small virtual classrooms, but that just means it's a few people in a group video call. And it's always with a native language speaker/teacher. It's helped by learning materials that are structured according to CEFR standards, so A1, A2, B1, B2, so that your progress also becomes measurable if that's important for you in any way, for example, for a job. You can study anytime, anywhere, or attend the marathon classes anytime, anywhere, as long as you have a stable internet connection and a device, that can access the internet and learning materials, so a computer ideally. Because they offer 24/7 classes, and if you book early enough, you're pretty sure to get, the exact slot that you need according to your schedule. You can also download their lessons, because once you're in, you have lifelong access to learning materials that are also constantly being updated. So of course the biggest things here are motivation, because motivation is what you need for any sort of discipline or determination, and feeling like what you're learning is actually appropriate for you. So the great thing about Lingoda is because it's individual native speakers, they make sure that whatever level you are starting on, what you're learning is appropriate to that level so you can actually make decent progress. And when it comes to motivation, of course, Lingoda's teachers are fully aware that learning language is a long process, takes a while, and can be frustrating, so they are trained in keeping you motivated. And part of the point here also is that you have to take one class every day or one class every 2 days for the half marathon, but you also can take a maximum of that, because you are not supposed to be able to save up 3 classes on one day and then be off for the next 2 days, because the idea is to immerse you every day so you have a consistent exposure to German. Additionally, as has traditionally been one of the selling points of this marathon, if you pull through, so that means if you stick with the program for the full 3 months and you show up for class every single day, you don't miss a single one, you get a 100% refund at the end, no further strings attached. Now, as for the half marathon, that's ideal for anyone who's super, super busy. So if you're a busy professional, or if you just have a lot of other things going on in your life and you don't feel like you can make it to class every single day, you have a bit more flexibility because you have to take one class within any 2-day compartment. Now, of course, because this is only half as much of a commitment, if you pull through that way completely, you get a 50% refund at the end. Now, about this marathon. Welcome back, longtime viewers. Languages available this time around as well are English, German, French, Spanish, and Business English, although I assume that for you guys, German is, of course, the thing that you're interested in. Now, in order to participate this time around, you have to be mindful of the following things. This round of the marathon starts on May 27th, 2019, and because it runs for 3 months, that means it ends on August 24th, 2019. First of all, since the marathon starts on May 27th, you can sign up until May 13th. That's the cutoff date. This is providing that you've either never participated in the marathon before, or that you have participated but were not eligible for the refund because, you stopped early or you missed a class, etc. So that's the 2 conditions. If you've participated in the marathon before and gotten the full refund, you can no longer participate. Now, normally, reserving a spot in the marathon costs you €5 just to make like a down payment for your spot. But since you're coming through me, you can use my voucher code and you will not have to pay for anything. You just enter the voucher code and you have a spot reserved. You will get information on what the classes cost you every month if you don't pull off the full marathon, etc. on the landing page that I've linked in the description. Also, of course, if you do end up missing a class or you just don't book one for one day, you can still continue taking the classes that you paid for, of course. You just won't get the refund. Even if you subscribe right away, you will not be charged for the first month until May 20th, and you can still cancel until 14 days after you first sign up. Now, of course, take your time to consider whether you want this or can afford this commitment and the time investment that it takes, but don't wait for too long because slots in the marathon are always limited, and from what I know, every time so far, they filled up. So there's limited slots. If you want to reserve one, use the voucher code. And lastly, pretty dry, but pretty important, of course, as with everything, there's terms and conditions, so make sure that you read those in advance and just see if you're okay with everything there. The Language Marathon has now been happening for 2 years, which means that it's happened 4 times. Now, I can't tell you, of course, if this works super good for you, if you'll be able to pull this off, but if you think that you can somehow find the motivation and dedication that this takes, do it. Immersion is the best thing you can get, and I know not everybody has the chance to go to a foreign country just to improve their language skills. So what this marathon can do for you is improve your fluency and improve your confidence in speaking because you get daily feedback by a native speaker and also other people learning with you. And that's really the key to everything, because I sure know that with Russian, the biggest block in my way still is that I don't feel super confident about a lot of the things that I try to say, even though I technically know how to say them. So if you think that you need something to like push you across the edge and make you take that leap, you can check out their Instagram, which is linked on the screen, also in the description, where they have more testimonials by people who have participated in the past. Also, like I said, the landing page is linked in the description in case you need more technical information. And I've also put the voucher code there so you can use it if you want to sign up for a slot. So whether you're a complete Anfänger, so beginner, or already an alter Hase, so an old rabbit, so a veteran of learning German, I wish you all the best, viel Spaß and viel Erfolg if you decide to participate in this marathon. And other than that, I'll see you soon. Tschüss!